With GoEngineer's help, I was able to download and install the Zoom product. I got all of my communications from the host for the meeting, but what are all these fancy schmancy buttons here for? What are the buttons and icons and the commands in the Zoom product? How do I communicate or interact with other people in the meeting? What happens if I get stuck and I need the instructor's assistance? These are all great questions, and we're going to answer them in this next session. Welcome to part 3 of our video series, How to Zoom with GoEngineer. As you know, my name is James Ortiz, and I have been using SOLIDWORKS since 1997, and I have been a trainer for the product for well over 20 years now. So, let's tackle these issues.
Now that we're connected to the host, we're going to discuss how do you communicate with them and others within the meeting. Well, if you have a mic, you can simply turn on your microphone and join the audio. But what happens if you don't happen to have a mic? Well, you can also use your cell phone to call in with the phone number in the original email that the host sent you. Or we can also go through your chat. So down at the bottom of your screen, if you open up the chat, you can type in questions to either everyone or specifically to one person within the meeting. For instance, how do I share my video? So down in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to notice that we have Start Video. If you simply select this, your webcam is now being shared, so I hope you don't have bedhead. After you start your video, you're going to see what they call the share screen. This is the window where we're going to see everybody's webcam at. In the window, you're going to see our minimize, which will actually collapse the window just like any other program. But we also have your single graphics view. In this one, we're only going to see just one person's webcam at a time. It's going to display only that who is speaking or who is last speaking. And finally, we're going to see our multiple graphics window. This is where we're going to see everybody's webcam all at one time. This is what we currently have set. The icon to the far right is our swap share screen with video. What this one's going to do is going to actually swap the webcam for the host's desktop computer. If you need to, you can even resize the window to make it easier for you to see what the host is doing on their computer. Let's move it out of the way, resize it a little bit more, and you can see their screen. Why would I swap my screens like this? Well, that's a great question. Maybe you have a host that is using a physical whiteboard in their background and they want to show something. So this way, by swapping out the screens, you can see the image better in the larger screen as compared to the smaller screen. Let's go and swap the video back. Let's move the window and resize it to give me a better glance at the host screen. Let's stop showing the video. Let's go back into Zoom and let's go back to our chat window to ask another question. We're going to ask everybody, how do I share my screen? Meaning my desktop on my computer. Well, there's a couple of ways that we can do this. The first, at the very bottom of your Zoom window, we have Share Screen. However, when I launch it, you're going to get a message that says you cannot share the screen because somebody else is sharing theirs. So you're going to have to ask the host to stop sharing their screen so we can share ours. Once the host has terminated their share, you will now see our Zoom client window, where here we can either hit the button at the center of the screen that says Share Screen, or we can go down to the bottom of the Zoom window and say Share. Then we simply choose which window or program we would like to share with the group. And that's it. We are now sharing our screen with the entire group that are in the Zoom meeting. So we have our two windows. We see your screen and we also see your host screen. And as you can see, whatever you do on your screen, they can now see on their screen. Every single button pick. The whole point of this is if you ever get caught in a jam, if you're having technical issues and you need help from the host can now see what you're doing and then walk you through the proper way of executing the commands that they're trying to teach you or show you during your Zoom training with GoEngineer. As you can see right now, our host is helping the student walk through the process of building a brand new part inside of SOLIDWORKS.
But what if the host is having a problem verbally explaining something to me? That's another great question. At any time during the Zoom meeting, when you are sharing your screen, the host can ask to take control of your mouse remotely. You simply accept it, and then at that point in time, whatever they do on your screen, everybody can now see it. So this way, the instructor can help you through an issue and show you what they were describing on your screen with your part. Here, they're simply adding a fillet into your model. Remember when you're finished to hit the Stop Share button at the top of your screen. After you've stopped sharing your screen, the hosts can now continue on with the training by sharing theirs. Or, if the host decides to simply share their screen, that will then cancel your share altogether.
Now that the meeting is over, or you get called away because you have to put out a fire on the shop floor, you're going to notice in the lower right hand corner, there's our Leave Meeting button. Simply hit that and that will exit out of the Zoom product. Or, your host also has the ability of exiting out of the meeting and saying that the meeting is closed for everyone. In our next episode of How to Zoom with GoEngineer, we're going to discuss setting up the Outlook plugin so meetings will go directly to your email and your calendar so you'll get reminders for your next meeting.